All right, let's talk about something huge. We're diving into a story that's been quietly unfolding for more than 10 years. A massive effort to fix a hidden, fundamental problem in how we build, well, everything.
Okay, so to kick things off, let's start with a single number. And honestly, it's a pretty shocking number that really frames this entire story. Get this. Back in 2020, the Construction Industry Institute dropped this bombshell of a study. It found that a staggering 41% of the money, the capital, in major construction projects doesn't even go into the steel, the concrete, or the labor.
It's just gone. It's wasted on what they call transactions. Things like having to do work over again, paying for redundant insurance, and all the friction that happens when different computer systems just can't talk to each other. That's nearly half the budget just evaporating into thin air. So you gotta ask, right? How on earth is that even possible? And more importantly, what are we gonna do about it? Well, the answer actually starts to take shape years before the study even came out. To find the solution, we've got to go back, way back to 2014. That's when a proposal was first put together to tackle this exact problem, this mess of inefficiency and totally disconnected data. The big idea was something called the Priority Action Plan. It basically suggested using a data standard called XBRL. Now, the best way to think about XBRL is like a universal translator for business data. It's a way to create one common language for these massive, complex sectors: construction, energy, and transportation. So, how does it actually work? Well, it's pretty clever. It puts a little digital tag on every single piece of information, like the cost of steel or a project deadline. That tag lets any computer system read and understand it perfectly. It creates a single source of truth, instead of the absolute mess of conflicting spreadsheets and documents we're all used to. And what you get is this incredible shift. You go from the old school siloed way of doing things, where everything is manual and full of friction, to a totally connected, automated system where everyone, and I mean everyone, is working from the same playbook. That means fewer mistakes, faster progress, and a much, much clearer picture of what's actually going on. So, that idea from 2014, it wasn't just a flash in the pan. Nope, it started to grow, pick up some serious steam, and really evolve over the next decade. And you can really see how this whole thing progressed. It started as this niche proposal way back in 2014. Then, in 2020, we get that hard data, that 41% number, backing it all up. And by 2023, boom. It's not just an idea anymore, it's a full-fledged global vision. And this thing even got a name. At the big COP28 climate conference, this vision was officially christened the International Digital Ecosystem Architecture, or, much easier to say, IDEA. It's basically a framework to get all the different players collaborating on a global scale. But look, a great idea is just an idea, right? It needs some real muscle behind it to become a reality. And that's exactly what happened next. This is the turning point, where the US government actually stepped in and put the full force of law behind this vision. And they did it with two major pieces of legislation: the Financial Data Transparency Act and the big one, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Together, these laws gave this whole concept real teeth, basically mandating these new data standards across federal agencies. And yeah, the Financial Data Transparency Act, the FTTA, it wasn't some gentle suggestion. It was a flat-out mandate. It said that financial data for federal agencies has to be open, it has to be standardized, and it has to be machine-readable. It's all about tearing down those proprietary data walls that cause so much of that friction we were talking about. Then you have the Infrastructure Act. This is the one that created the Advanced Digital Construction Management Systems program, and its goals were crystal clear: make projects way more efficient, cut down on those crazy cost overruns, and by making everything more transparent, actually make construction sites safer for everybody. Okay, so now you've got the law on your side. The foundation is there. The real work could finally begin on building out this new digital infrastructure, one piece of data at a time. And you can see exactly how this is playing out right now. A funding proposal to the Department of Transportation is the perfect example. The strategy is to systematically add new, standardized data crumbs into this common language, that XBRL taxonomy we mentioned. And these first few crumbs are the absolute bedrock. We're talking about a standard way to prove a company is qualified for a job, a way to streamline all the critical insurance paperwork, a way to standardize contracts, and a big one, a way to speed up payments.
All of it is designed to make the whole process way more transparent and efficient for every single person involved. There's a great line in the proposal itself that just nails the whole strategy. It says that these individual data elements, they're just data crumbs. But when you put them all together, you create this incredibly powerful foundation for the next generation of infrastructure. I mean, that's it right there. So this whole thing, this decade-long journey from just a simple idea to actual federal law, it's not a side project anymore. It is now setting the entire agenda for how we build everything. And you can see it in what the industry is talking about. The theme for the big 2026 Building Innovation Conference? Aligning for impact. I mean, that says everything, doesn't it? The conversation isn't about if this is going to happen anymore. It's about how we can best use this new alignment to get things done. Which really leaves us with one final and kind of exciting thought. After a decade of all this hard work to create a common language, to get everyone on the same page, the real question is, what are we going to build on it? What incredible, efficient, and resilient things can we finally create now that we have this foundation?